Hello and welcome to episode 223 of WITM as Great Balls of Fire continues. And we've got Gerald in action looking for his first WWE gold just a few months into his career. Gerald debuted at the Royal Rumble, didn't make an appearance on Raw until about 2 months later, but has been impressive in the 3 or 4 months since then, winning the majority of his matches on Raw and main event, leading to this title opportunity. He's going to be taking on the Intercontinental Champion Bobby Roode in his first title defense, and his rival, the man that he's faced 3 or 4 times on the way to earning this title shot, The Miz, who he's been constantly going back and forth with for the number one contendership. They both earn a title opportunity here, taking on Bobby Roode for his Intercontinental title. So let's get underway with our episode 223 match. It's a triple threat hardcore match for the Intercontinental title as Bobby Roode defends the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz and Gerald. Let's get underway.
Up next, we're going to see someone defy the odds. It's triple threat action.
Man, who's going to win this thing?
It's The Miz in a match against two of WWE's finest.
It's about time.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love what I thought it was funny. You came along and woo, now honey, I've changed my mind. This love is fine. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Kisses, baby. Feels good. Hold me, baby. Well, I want to love you like I love a should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine. I chew my nails down and I twiddle my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby. It drives me crazy. And it's just great balls of fire. Feels good. Hold me, baby. Well, I want to love you like I love it should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Awesome!
I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch a few I came to play. Get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch a few I came to play. Get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play. Run away if you see me. Don't even say my name. Don't think that you can know me. Don't try and play that game. Every day that I get better, I watch as you get worse. My script is to the letter, and I'll write your final verse. I am here to stay, and I
Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm.
Introducing the challenger from Grand
Days are all
Rapids,
filled with
Michigan.
an easy country charm.
Weighing in at
Thank God I'm a country
230
boy.
pounds,
Well, I got me a
Gerald
fine wife. I got
don't
me old
recall
fiddle
the
when the
last
sun's
time I
coming
saw
up. I
a
got cakes
challenger
on the griddle.
walk to the
Life
ring
ain't
with
nothing
so
but a
much
funny, funny
confidence.
riddle.
The
Thank God I'm a
running
country
through these two
boy.
right now
When the
has to be
work's
an
all done and
all-time
the sun's
high.
setting low, pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. The kids are sweet, so I keep it kind of low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Woo! Well, I wouldn't pay my life a dime or gold rolls. I never was one of them money-hungry fools. Rather have a
All right, and there's the prize on the line, the Intercontinental Championship for Gerald. This would be his first WWE gold just a few months into his career. For Bobby Roode, this would mean a successful title defense in his first
There's nothing traditional about a triple threat
defense
match.
of his first WWE gold. For The Miz, he would acquire the same title that he holds in real life. And as I should probably have mentioned, in case you couldn't figure it out yourself, as I should probably have mentioned in the previous match, our pay-per-view theme is Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis, the same song they used for the real life Great Balls of Fire that took place last weekend.
This is a great opportunity to make a statement. Coming out on top of these two will do
And
wonders
Gerald
for a career.
wreaking havoc right here, taking out both the defending champion Roode and The Miz. Now locking in a submission and broken fairly quickly.
He may never walk the same
Miz
after
had
that backbreaker.
this being a no disqualification triple threat matchup, does not have the advantage of having his Miztourage ringside.
I've seen him do that before.
He's going to have to do this on his own if he is going to walk out of Great Balls of Fire, the new Intercontinental Champion, as he is in real life. Gerald is sent spiraling to the outside. Roode and Miz fighting it out in the ring now. Gerald using the LED board to help him get back to his feet, and will do so and make his way back into the ring. Miz and Gerald both looking to attack the Intercontinental Champion. And it's going to be a Roode getting an attack in on Gerald. That's not enough to send him to the outside. Miz will go spiraling outside. The two rivals clash yet again, this time with an Intercontinental Championship on the line. Miz grabbing the leg of Gerald, bending it as far backward as he can, but Gerald was able to break the hold. Swinging neck breaker by Miz, reversed by Gerald. Very nice reversal last second into a swinging neck breaker of his own. Miz looking for a look like a brain buster, but Gerald able to reverse into an axe handle and rear closed elbow drop to the back.
But he's just going to keep getting up and
There's
coming
another.
back at you. Yeah, well, at this point, he may want to think about
Gerald
finding
coming
a way
in
to
off the
take
ropes
a
with a
breather.
leg drop, but I believe Miz was able to evade that, or rather Bobby Roode.
Exactly
Here
popping
comes
up
the
to his
Miz,
feet here.
plunging the leg of Gerald into the
Did you
canvas,
see what just happened?
and getting fired up now. Forces Gerald to his feet.
I don't know if we've
Swinging
seen
neck
that from him
breaker.
before. I mean, it's definitely
Like I
a
said,
first
Gerald
tonight.
This is great. This
rolling
guy will try
outside.
anything.
Miz Howard strips the
He's on
champion
his
Roode into the
heels,
corner.
And you have to wonder how much more the champ has to give.
Well, these guys have been so tightly matched up until now, but this might be where that finally
Reverse
starts to
DDT,
change.
now Miz
You
looking
know,
to take
I would've
flight.
thought one of these guys would have shown signs of dominance at some point by now. That just
And
hasn't
diving
really been the case.
fist connects.
Nobody home there.
Gerald
Nobody
to his
home.
feet and
Oh,
back into
that
the
looked
ring.
like the house has been empty for months, really pushing his opponent
Targets
to
the
the limit.
Miz, taking advantage of Roode's attack.
He's been through hell, and
But
his
Roode
ribs
gets
have bore the brunt of the attack.
behind and connects with a Russian leg sweep.
As a precaution, damaged ribs like that can make it hard to
Irish
breathe.
whip into the corner.
He's too busy bragging and boasting than battling in this match.
And there's a big boot to the Intercontinental Champion Roode. There's a spear for Miz. Both men are down after each getting a signature finisher. Is Gerald about to become Intercontinental Champion? He is. Gerald, just a few months into his career, first takes out the Miz with a big boot. Or rather, takes out the champion Roode with a big boot. Then a spear for the Miz. And Gerald is your new Intercontinental Champion.
Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early
Here's
to
your
shine.
winner and the
Thank
new
God I'm a country boy.
Intercontinental
Well, a
Champion,
simple kind of life never did me no
New
harm.
champion,
Raising
I
me a
don't
family
believe it.
and working
And
on
now
the
it
farm.
is the
The
former
days are all
champ that
filled
appears
with
to
an
be
easy country
stunned
charm.
and astonished.
Thank God
Look at the
I'm a
look on
country
their
boy.
face. They can't
Well, I
believe
got
it.
me a
But let's
fine
not
wife. I got me
forget,
old fiddle
we
and the sun's
have a
coming up. I
new
got cakes
champion.
on the griddle.
After that, I
Life
can't wait
ain't
for the
nothing
next
but a
time we
funny,
have an
funny
opportunity
riddle.
to call a
Thank
triple
God
threat
I'm a
match.
country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, pull out my fiddle and
All right, so just a few months into his career, Gerald has been impressive. And he is going to silence all of his doubters really quickly because it's Gerald standing tall over his rival The Miz and the former champion Bobby Roode. A very nice finish to the match. He wreaked havoc the majority of the match. Big boot to the champion Roode. Spear to the number one contender Miz. And Gerald is your new Intercontinental Champion. And those are going to make some... that's going to make... that finish to the match is going to make a nice highlight reel for Gerald's Titantron video. So we are going to take advantage of that here. Nothing like having highlights of a title win for your Titantron video. Congratulations to Gerald, one of WITM's newest members, and now the Intercontinental Champion. And there's more good news that comes with that I will be sharing in a moment. No, I don't want to save that twice. Alright, got his clips of the final moments of his Intercontinental title victory.
Finally, the main event. Singles action coming your way. We have Finn Balor
Against Dean Ambrose.
Alright, Dean Ambrose, part of SmackDown Live, but was still Universal Champion when he came over to SmackDown, so he remains on Raw long enough to defend that title. Will Finn Balor defeat Dean Ambrose and remove him from Raw? Or will Dean Ambrose remain on Raw for at least one more month as the still reigning and defending Universal Champion? Dean Ambrose will remain on Raw as the reigning Universal Champion. Alright, and there's the news there. Gerald, the new Intercontinental Champion. Congratulations again to him. No, do not proceed just yet because we're going to jot down the results here. Alright, so Lince Dorado successfully defends the Cruiserweight Championship against Akira Tozawa. Brian Kendrick defeats Cedric Alexander. Asuka successfully defends the Raw Women's Championship against Bayley. Sheamus and Cesaro successfully defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the Authors of Pain. Andrew, accompanied by Corey, defeats Austin Aries, ending Austin Aries' time with the WWE. Gerald becomes the new Intercontinental Champion, pinning the number one contender, The Miz. The former champion, Bobby Roode, will take the no decision. And Dean Ambrose will still remain a journeyman on both Raw and SmackDown as he remains the Universal Champion, defeating Finn Balor. Alright, so let's see how that affects the rankings on Raw and 205 Live. We will start off with the Cruiserweight division on 205 Live. Lince Dorado defeats Akira Tozawa. So, Tozawa moves down to number 4. Brian Kendrick defeats Cedric Alexander. However, Andrew won as well. So Andrew's going to move up to the number 1 contendership to the Cruiserweight title. Kendrick will move up to number 2. And Alexander will fall to number 8. Andrew defeated Austin Aries. Andrew's already number 1 contender, and Aries will be removed from the roster shortly. So no need to change that. And we'll go ahead and do that now so we don't forget. So, surprising that it has come to this point, but Austin Aries, a key component of WITM for the last 3 seasons, officially no longer part of the WWE in real life, and no longer part of 205 Live or WWE whatsoever in WITM. Alright, and we must continue on, so we'll now go to the Raw Women. Asuka successfully defends the Raw Women's Championship against Bayley. Bayley will move down to number 2. Nikki Bella becomes the new number 1 contender. And the top 5 contenders to Raw Women's Championship are number 1, Nikki Bella, number 2, Bayley, number 3, Liv Morgan, number 4, Dana Brooke, and number 5, Lana. And I forgot to mention the top 5 to the Cruiserweight title. I'll do that now. The top 5 contenders to the Cruiserweight title held by Lince Dorado are number 1, Andrew, number 2, Brian Kendrick, number 3, Noam Dar, number 4, Akira Tozawa, and number 5, Grand Metalik. And now the Raw Tag Team Division. Cesaro and Sheamus successfully retained against the Authors of Pain, so they're going to move down to number 2. The Revival moves up to number 1. And the top 5 contenders to the Raw Tag Team titles held by Cesaro and Sheamus are number 1, Revival, number 2, Authors of Pain, number 3, Miz Taraj, number 4, New Day, and number 5, Usos. And now the Intercontinental title rankings. Gerald defeated Bobby Roode and The Miz to become Intercontinental Champion. Both Roode and Miz are going to move down a spot. That means that the new number 1 contender is former Intercontinental Champion Sheamus. Bought over the Intercontinental title to Raw via the Superstar Shakeup. Would later lose the title to Bobby Roode, and who would lose the title in his first defense to Gerald and The Miz. And the top 5 contenders to Gerald's Intercontinental Championship are number 1, Sheamus, number 2, Bobby Roode, number 3, The Miz, number 4, Baron Corbin, and number 5, Zack Ryder. And now the Universal title rankings. Dean Ambrose defeated Finn Balor. Balor falls to number 2. The top 5 contenders to the Universal title held by Dean Ambrose. On number 1, Cesaro. Number 2, Finn Balor. Number 3, Sheamus. Number 4, Bobby Roode. And number 5, Bray Wyatt. And also, it is time for promotions and demotions. So, just a reminder how that works. If you are at the bottom, if you have been at the bottom of your show's rankings out following 2 pay-per-views, you are demoted down to the next tier. So, main eventers, so example on Raw, main eventers challenging for the Universal title that have been at the bottom of their show's rankings for 2 months are going to move down into the Intercontinental title rankings. People in the Intercontinental title rankings that have been at the bottom for 2 months would move down into NXT. Tag teams at the bottom will automatically move down to NXT. Women at the bottom will automatically move down to NXT. And then if somebody is demoted, they will be replaced by the highest ranked contender in the tier below them that is not already part of that tier they're being demoted from, if that makes any sense at all. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Raw women. Dana Brooke, it was the woman in danger of demotion. She is safe. She sits at number 4. And now in danger of demotion is Nia Jax. If she is still in that 9th spot in 2 months, she will be demoted down to NXT. The tag team in danger on Raw was Enzo and Cass. They are no longer a tag team. So, obviously, they will not be demoted. And the Hype Bros are the team now in danger of demotion. If they are at the bottom after 2 Raw pay-per-views, they will be sent down to NXT. The person in danger of demotion in the Intercontinental title rankings was Aiden English. And he has moved up 5 spots to number 21, so he is safe. Enzo Amore is in danger of demotion to NXT after 2 pay-per-views, and the person in danger of demotion in the Universal title rankings was Kurt Hawkins, and he, by 1 spot, is safe. Alright, so no changes there. And Kevin Owens, by the way, is the man in danger of demotion down to the Intercontinental title rankings exclusively. After 2 pay-per-views. Alright, so normally I like to, for DVD watchers, do 2 pay-per-views of both Raw and SmackDown before I send out a package. However, we're still 3 weeks away from Battleground, the next SmackDown pay-per-view, and there's been about 20 to 22 episodes recorded since the last package already. So I think for the DVD watchers, I'm going to go ahead and call it a package. I will go ahead and advance to Raw and see what the next match is for the beginning of the next package for DVD watchers, and the next match posted online for online viewers. And will it be the Intercontinental Champion Gerald in action? It will be. He's going to be taking on the former number 1 contender Finn Balor in the main event of Raw. Alright, so for DVD watchers, upcoming for you is in 3 weeks the SmackDown exclusive Battleground pay-per-view. We'll see if Dalton Roush can get up to a US or Intercontinental title opportunity. And then also NXT TakeOver Brooklyn is the next NXT pay-per-view, where Andrew will defend his NXT championship. And we could potentially see Corey or Michael Holt in action. For Michael Holt, that could be his opportunity to get promoted to the main roster or possibly become NXT champion with how fast he's been rising up the rankings. For Corey, that will be his next opportunity to get an NXT championship shot, which would be his ticket back to the main roster. That is about 5 weeks away. And then the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, SummerSlam, for Raw, SmackDown, and 205 Live takes place 1 week later. And that will most likely be the end of that package, because No Mercy is a month after that. Alright, so for DVD watchers, that does it for this package. I know it's going to be a great finale for DVD watcher Gerald with an Intercontinental title victory. For online watchers, we'll see you soon, episode 224, and Gerald's first match since becoming Intercontinental Champion. For DVD watchers, that does it for this package. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in the beginning of the next package with Gerald versus Finn Balor. And that does it for episode 223. Until episode 224, this is Corey, signing off.